Hello the cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on everydays. National media say, no need for an inquest, but Liverpool in need of rest. For the first time in a while, there was increased scrutiny from the watching media as the Reds let an opportunity slip at Arsenal, but, thankfully, there was no overreaction. The Reds were fairly beaten 3-1 away to Arsenal on Sunday afternoon, allowing them to get within 2 points of Jurgen Klopp's side. From the off, Liverpool weren't at the races, and the hope is that this is nothing more than a blip in an otherwise legendary season. Here's how the media reacted to the Reds' hugely disappointing defeat. It was a poor Liverpool performance, who weren't at it from minute one. The Independent's Miguel Delaney thought it was a jaded display by a Red side still playing in all 4 competitions. Liverpool instead looked like a team that could do with a rest themselves, and it gave Klopp's words from Wednesday night a bit more edge. The German had said after the 4-1 win over Chelsea that his players looked jaded, and that could be seen here. That maybe isn't any greater concern for the season or even their title challenge, given the run of form. There was always going to be some drop-off. They could maybe have done without it coming in this game, with this kind of significance. City can go back on top if they win their 2 games in hand. Phil McNulty of BBC Sport felt the Reds never merited getting anything from the game. Liverpool did not deserve anything from this display, its off-color nature summed up by the manner of the 2 goals that gave Arsenal a victory they fully merited. Jurgen Klopp's side were fortunate to go in level at halftime, having been presented with an equalizer no one in the stadium saw coming, although there were signs early in the second half that they were in the mood to cash in on that gift. On X, David Lynch was level-headed, saying there is no need for an overreaction. The Mirror's Jacob Leaks felt the midfield battle was lost by Liverpool, playing a big role in their defeat. It was a dominant display from Arsenal despite the narrow scoreline, which was highlighted most in the midfield battle. The Gunners were totally on top in the middle third of the pitch, led by all-action displays from Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Rice and Odegaard were absolutely everywhere, with the Englishman providing protection for his side in defense and his captain orchestrating the hosts in attack. By contrast, Liverpool's midfielders were more or less invisible. Curtis Jones, Alexis Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch all struggled to stamp themselves on the game, with Arsenal's press affording them little time on the ball. The trio also left their defense exposed, with Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka enjoying stellar games. The Van Dijk and Alisson cock-up could be so key come May. Speaking on Sky Sports after the game, Jamie Carragher didn't hold back in his criticism of Van Dijk. Van Dijk just has to head it. Don't let it bounce. We're talking schoolboy stuff here. We're talking about players at the top level. This is something you learn at the bottom level of football. Gabriel, Martinelli nudges him slightly into the goalkeeper, which puts Alisson off slightly, but Martinelli is well within his rights to knock them and clash them together. There's always a chance of that happening if you let the ball bounce. There are very few weaknesses in Van Dijk's game, but one of them is he has a tendency to hold his position too much. Jason Bird of The Telegraph was shocked at such a high-profile error from Alisson and Van Dijk. Jurgen Klopp's announcement that he was leaving Liverpool at the end of the season might distract his team, and so it was an extraordinary mix-up involving his 2 most experienced players that cost them here. Martinelli forced it as he chased down Virgil van Dijk, but, even so, it was shocking to see the Liverpool captain and his goalkeeper Alisson make such a mess of it. Van Dijk tried to shield the ball, Alisson should have cleared but missed it, and Martinelli had an unguarded goal to tap side foot into. What does this mean for the title race? McNulty believes Liverpool could do with getting a certain Mohamed Salah back in their ranks. Liverpool have coped superbly with the absence of Mohamed Salah, away with Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations where he sustained a hamstring injury, but were crying out for his brilliance here as they failed to even mount the traditional surge that has been their trademark. There is no need to panic for the Reds, who are still clear at the top of the table. But there will be real disappointment that they delivered such a poor performance in a game where they could conceivably have killed off Arsenal's title challenge. Writing for This Is Anfield, Lynch said that big players returning will be key between now and the end of the season. It should not be forgotten that Liverpool added to a lengthy list of absentees ahead of this game when it emerged that Connor Bradley and Dominic Szoboszlai would not be available. But, with this chastening afternoon out of the way, there is hope that things will look a lot brighter for the Reds by the time next weekend's game against Burnley comes around. Wataru Endo is guaranteed to be back, while Szoboszlai has a chance should a slight recurrence of a hamstring injury prove not to be serious. And, with a bit of luck, both Kostas Tsimikas and Mohamed Salah could even provide a further boost to a squad that has now welcomed Thiago back. That extra energy and quality will be key to getting back on track and ensuring Liverpool can continue to challenge on four fronts going forward. Revealed, when Wataru Endo will return to Liverpool training. Wataru Endo will report back to the AXA training center on Monday following Japan's exit from the Asian Cup. The Samurai Blues campaign ended in dramatic circumstances on Saturday, a 96th-minute penalty condemning them to a 2-1 defeat by Iran at the quarter-final stage. But there will be no rest for Endo, who has made an immediate return to Liverpool following his international exploits. The 30-year-old's fitness will be assessed upon reporting and should return to full training alongside his teammates later this week in the event no issues are revealed. If that is the case, Endo will come into contention for this weekend's Premier League meeting with Burnley at Anfield. Endo last featured for the Reds as they beat Newcastle 4-2 at home on New Year's Day. His involvement in the Asian Cup ended a run of 8 consecutive starts in which he deputized impressively for the injured Alexis Mac Allister. The Argentine is now back to full fitness and has made the holding midfield role his own in his colleague's absence. However, Jurgen Klopp is sure to welcome a boost to his options in that position as Liverpool continue to compete on four fronts. Jurgen Klopp fumes with refereeing as Liverpool fall to Arsenal. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp lashed out at referee Anthony Taylor for his role in his side's 3-1 defeat to Arsenal on Sunday. The Gunners were well and truly on top for the vast majority of the game and, aside from a 2-goal advantage, ended the game with an extra player on the field after Ibrahima Konate was shown a second yellow card. While Klopp conceded Arsenal were the better side, he questioned Taylor's decision to dismiss Konate and accused the official of impacting the game. "A lot of things were against of us today," he said. "This referee gave me a red card against Man City for wrestling situation between Bernardo Silva and Mo Salah. Today, same situation with Diogo Jota but didn't get a red card. It is unbelievable." Then the of holding, Kai Havertz on Konate for the first yellow card. Then Havertz goes down and the referee gives Konate a yellow card. Gabriel Magalhaes does the same to Darwin Núñez and no yellow card. Klopp insisted his side had a better chance at getting back into the game before Konate's dismissal but felt Liverpool showed their human side with a drop-off in performance levels. "Congratulations to Arsenal," Klopp continued. "We were not good enough. I would have loved to see the game longer at 1-1. We found a way into the game. No shots on target but we scored a goal. Growing more into the game, second half. We had our moments and then we concede that goal. That doesn't help. It just shows the boys are human beings. Today we were really human. They scored goals and were many parts better than us. We have to play better football, that's clear." Was it a red card? Not sure. But even without that we lose 2-1 and only have one shot on goal. Hello the Cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on everydays.